What's up, guys? Fish Keepers here with a review of the Chihiros clip-on LED light. So this guy, you can, I think the only place I've seen it is on eBay. I think there's a few other places that you might be able to get it at. But I wanted to do a review. I've had this light now for a year. I've put it away. I've used it on different tanks, but I recently took it out of storage. Actually, I didn't take it out of storage. I retired it from one of my CO2 tanks and brought it here where it on its own has grown these plants. So I wanted to take a step back first. This Chihiros LED light is under $30 on eBay, or I think about 30 bucks. Before it grew all these plants in here, it was growing plants in my CO2 injected tank alongside a POF light LED light. So it was two lights, this light and another light. So I never got a good idea of it, like, does it actually grow plants? I never got a good, like, does it not? I wasn't sure because I already had another light in, so it was just an additional light. So here, it's been a month and a half, approximately, since I've had it in here, maybe even 2 months, and I wanted to see what it would do on its own. Now, this light only has white lights. There's no blues or anything else. It's just white lights, super 7,000 Kelvin lights. I believe there are Samsung LEDs too, so there's some kind of quality there. It's also water resistant. It has a nice layer, like a film right here, that doesn't allow the water to actually get into the LEDs. The clip-on area right here is plasticky, but this up here is aluminum. So it's pretty good. I haven't had any problems with the screws. It works really good on rim. This tank's not so sure how it works on actual rimmed tanks, so tanks that have a rim on it, or, like, you know, standard 20 gallons, 10-gallon tanks with the black rim. Not sure how well it clips on that. I'm sure you can figure it out though. So here on its own, it's growing plants better than I thought it would. Actually, I'm getting to the point where my POF light has been running for about a year, and it's starting to not do a good job anymore. It's starting to kind of be, I would say it's lost about 40% of its brightness, of its power, versus this guy hasn't. This one I bought, like I said, a year ago, gave it to a family member. They used it for a while. It grew plants. I just didn't know how well it grew plants in their tank. It just did. It grew a lot of moss and stuff like that. Finally ended up back in my place. I use it as a supplemental light for my CO2 injected tank. It worked fine. I just didn't know how well it worked on its own, because again, it was in addition to an already lit tank, so it was kind of hard. Here, finally though, I found out how well it does. So a lot of these plants were brought either really short or already fully grown. So I will talk about the plants that I know have actually grown in here. And I'm gonna start off with this Nesaea golden. Beautiful plant, very hard to grow, mostly because it has a hard time adapting to no CO2 injection or immersed growth. It has a hard time adapting from immersed growth. So in my CO2 injected tank, it took forever to grow with highlight, with two lights on it. It just took a long time to grow. So here, I'm surprised that it's been growing fine. It's been growing really well with this Chihiros tank, Chihiros light. So that's a huge indicator for me. That means this light is putting out some good power. Another big thing is my Rotala H'ra is growing nice and orange pink. I know this Rotala can go a little redder than that, but this already is telling me, that plant right here. It's already telling me that this light is good enough to bring out reds in plants. You know, it's not low light. This is at least medium light. The crassicaulis you have here, it was all brought from a tank where it grew in low light, so it was already green. It should be pink red if you have very intense light, which I haven't even been able to get. I have a little bit of it that's grown under very intense light and it got pink, but it's really hard to get there. So this one's, I'm going to disqualify this guy because it came from a low light tank and it's already green, so this hasn't changed anything, so I can't really speak for that. Rotala wallichii, or I think Vietnam, back there, pink on the tips, which I have not been able to replicate even in my CO2 tank, so that's good. In my other tank, it would get covered in crap, just stuff. And here, because of the high flow, it's been growing really nice and pink. So again, a good way of knowing this is medium to to highlight. And the big indicator for me, because I have a lot of experience with it, is this Ludwigia Super Red Mini. This Super Red Mini, I've grown it in low light to almost no light. Actually, no, I've grown it in no light, low light, medium light, and in high light. So I will say in no light, or just ambient lighting, it grows kind of like this guy right here in the middle. You see him, but much more brown. It almost looks dead, but it still kept growing. In low light, it grows like this. What you're seeing in the video footage. This is how it grows in low light. I actually brought it from a low light tank, so this is why it looks like this actual stem I brought from a low light tank. So it still hasn't grown in, but you can see the center of where the new growth is coming out. It's nice and red, so we'll see in the future how good that one gets. This stem that I was showing you earlier was brought here when it was like half of its size. So it's actually grown a good amount, and it's bright red. So that right there tells me that this light is for sure medium to high light, especially for this situation, right? Because I mean, it also depends on the height. This is height from the soil to the light. It's about 8 inches, maybe a little more, maybe 10 inches, 8 to 10 inches. And obviously, the higher that the plants get, the more red they get because the higher the light is. So all in all, I would say, depending on the application of your tank and how deep your tank is, this light is at least a medium light if you use it appropriately. So if you guys are looking for a nice planet light, this is the one. If you really, I've been wanting to experiment on getting 2 of these, and really just get the brightness out of get the nice reds out of my plants. But if you can do that, but I haven't been able to do it yet. So Chihiros is doing a really good job at growing plants. This is not CO2 injected, so just to see that, it's fine. I mean, that's just intense. It's awesome. If you want to keep a planet tank this clean with no CO2, it's pretty hard. You have to do tons of water changes. This tank gets a water change at least every 2-3 days. Actually, every 2 days is probably more accurate. And I keep doing fertilizers every 3 days as well. So that's kind of what it takes. If you don't do the constant water changes, you're gonna get a buildup of just crud on your plants, which is probably most likely gonna be algae. There's no algae in here, fortunately, because of the water changes. So I just wanted to say, guys, if you're looking for the Chihiros, as long as your tank is a nano tank or somewhat not of a high tank, this light will do really good. Also be careful. If you're not doing the proper water changes, you're probably gonna get full of algae. This light, I can almost guarantee, will give you tons of algae if you don't use it correctly, because I do consider this medium highlight, and in some situations highlight. Here again, in this like 8 to 10 inch height situation, I would call it I would call it a highlight, especially the higher it gets up in the water column as far as the plants. So yeah, Chihiros, perfect light. I know they have bigger lights for like 30 centimeter tanks and stuff like that, and just based off of this and the quality of this light, I would say I give them a pass. I give them a thumbs up, 2 thumbs up. This brand, Chihiros, they are way different than other lights I've seen out there. I know there's some knockoffs, and maybe it's the same one, I don't know, that have on Amazon that they've called them flame torches or something like that, or light torches. And they might actually be the same one. Just look out for the box. I already threw the box away. If you want to look at what the box looks like and everything, look at my videos in my past. I actually did an unboxing video on this Chihiros, and I showed you the box and all the specs on that. This is more of a review on how well it does with plants. Now, if you don't care about plants, this one does really good just for colors. Like my shrimp look really nice in here. They look stunning. They're all kind of dull color shrimps in here, so you won't be able to see them very well. Actually, I guess there's a green jade right there. I shouldn't even have green jades, but there it is. And yeah, there's a lot of detritus worms floating around. That's because there's no fish in here to eat them. But yeah, that's the review, guys. Chihiros clip-on light. They actually, there's another thing. Sorry, I'm stuttering. This is the smallest one they offer, I believe. They have new ones. Like when I first got this Chihiros light, for all I know, they could have changed this. That's a disclaimer right now. For all I know, they could have changed the recipe and how they built this. light, so take that with a grain of salt. I bought this a year ago almost, but now that I checked recently on eBay with the Chihiros, the people who actually sell Chihiros, their brand, their store, their eBay store, they sell bigger sizes now of these clip-ons. So I would definitely look out for those. There's some, I think they go up to 12 inches as far as these clip-on, and then they move into the more of a, like, what is that? The more, what's that brand that everybody likes? ADA style or Twin Star style. So they, yeah. So they, after this, I think it's like 10 inches is the longest one they have as far as a clip-on. They move into like a more rimless style, like ADA / Twin Star look, and which is nice too. And actually, their Twin Star style looking lights look very similar to a Twin Star, to be honest. Very, very similar, but they cost about the same. So at that price point, you might as well go with the Twin Star because you know their brand. Chihiros, I think I'm not sure how big they are, but people are starting to buy the lights more. So maybe they are made by the same manufacturer. Who, for all we know, they're the same. They come from the same assembly line. But that's the review, guys. The Chihiros clip-on light comes with a nice power brick. There's no timer on it. You can attach a timer to it and get your plants growing. So that's all I got for you guys today. The Chihiros clip-on LED light. Give it a thumbs up. I'll leave a link in the description for the eBay listing. I don't make money off of it, so it doesn't really matter to me. And check out their other lights. I think these guys make some good lights. All right, peace.